everybody, Justin at Vintage 55 Restorations. It's another instructional video that I'm going to do, hopefully more of these, just so I stop getting asked the same questions without having a video to direct to. GE combination model. We also have a single door version of this over there. And actually, we'll do this over here. So, whether it's your single door version or your two door version, from 54 to 57, they had this same handle, which is kind of like a hash mark thing with this scratch guard behind it. There's two different versions of it with a very slight variation. The variation is what the pin is. So that pin is either a knockout pin or a set screw, depending on your model. But the whole idea is the same. If it's a set screw, you just use a screwdriver. If it's a pin, you just use a punch and a hammer. I'm going to tell you the common wear issues on this particular fridge. This particular handle happens all the time. So there's two different wear issues. One is you get looseness. This one's actually really tight, too tight. There's an issue with that. So this one is kind of loose, but it's not too bad. This one's not too bad. And basically what you get with that slop is there's a pivot point that gets worn out. Your other slop is this way, which is because the lever cup that hits the pin that makes the spring load action work is loose or worn down over time. So I'm going to take this off and show you. So to get these out, you simply, that dowel hole, there's two directions you can go, and I forgot which one it is. My turkey is going nuts. You can see there's one side on this that has a little lip, and it'll be smooth, and the other side will have teeth. So it's on this one, it's downward. So if you look underneath, this side has teeth, and that is the thicker side of that set pin. Just put that aside. I'll put it in my pocket instead of putting it in all that rat poop. We're in the barn, which is storage area for the workshop. This is where I keep everything before it gets cleaned up, before it gets nice. They all come in with rat poop basically, and so they stay with rat poop. I like to leave this punch in here until I'm ready to pull it out and my hands are free, because this is spring loaded. So when I remove this, there's a spring in there that will go flying, and then there's your pin. So this pin right here, when you press on that, that's what actually releases the fridge handle. If I press on that real hard and you see it's stuck down, it's because the mechanism is open at this point, and once it closes and latches around the latch, pops back out. Now what pivots and hits that is this little, what I call a cup right here. So that pin sits right here and does this and opens that. Now, as you can see, this gets worn down over time. It's curved to begin with, but this has gotten worn down, not very much, but it has gotten worn down. Once this gets really bad, sometimes it can break or just wear down to the point of not being useful. This is pot metal. You can find people to weld it, but they're very, very rare. It's very hard to weld. Your temporary fix that you can do, which is, when I say temporary, it will last you a decade, is to just fill that cup with JB Weld or another epoxy-based steel stick kind of a product. Pile it in there, but you want it to be at the same height that it was originally. So you don't want to make it a dome, you want to make it a cup still, and clean it up. Try to keep it as clean as possible. Scuff it up a little bit first so it sticks well, and then put that on there. Let it cure for 48 hours is what I say, and then you could trim it if you need to. And then that is now farther out and will give you more leverage on that handle. So that will remove your slop this way. Now, your other slop would be your dowel pin slop. So in that pin that we took out, it slides through here, through the housing, but in the middle, it slides through your handle itself, like that. So this one's nice and tight. It's a circle. the pin's a circle and there's no slop in this whatsoever. But what happens is over time, because this is just metal on metal, this will turn into an oval instead of a circle. And so this will be able to go plop, 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 and flop around in there. So what you can do with that, again, temporary fix, you can stuff that full of same stuff, full of JB Weld, and then drill those holes to the exact right size of this dowel. And before everybody starts rolling their eyes at me that actually knows their way around metal, about me saying put JB Weld in it, it has its place. Do not be using this for everything. That's pretty much the only reason that it's in my toolbox, is for this specific repair. I recast these in aluminum for restorations, but that is a good DIY fix that will last you a decent amount of time. You cannot DIY weld pot metal, and I will not advise you to do it. Even if you're an experienced welder, it's not something, I melt them when I try it a lot of the time. So anyway, once you get either one of those issues repaired, you put it back together, put a dollop of grease right on that pad so that that slides a little bit easier. And I always say put a little bit of dollop of grease on this pin too, so that that rotation makes it just a little bit easier. And grease, not something like WD-40. Spring goes over that and then over the pin. And then you just press it together till you get that lined up. And then you can move that around to get that in place, and then just tap it back up. Make sure you put the ridged side where it was originally, and then you're all tight again and good to go. Like I said, the only difference between the other one is that it's a screw instead of a pin. So, and you will see it, there'll be a line in it, and that is a screw, and that'll be threaded down. If you try to knock that out, you'll just break it or won't be able to. So anyway, hopefully if you're seeing this video, you got the same problem and you just fixed it. So Justin, Bench 55 Restorations, have a good day.